Hey y'all, the Derby Trail continues this week. It stops in Florida as well as New York and California. We've got three Derby preps this week. The first of which we're going to talk about is the Fountain of Youth Stakes. It's a Grade 2 worth 50 points to the winner. It's the 13th race on the Saturday card at Gulfstream, running a mile and a 16th for the 3-year-olds. And a couple things to note, very important about Gulfstream, of course. At a mile and a 16th, this race pretty much starts on a turn. So horses to the outside are a little bit of a disadvantage, particularly if they like to be up near the lead. Now, we don't have a really big field in here, but it is something that you always want to keep in mind. Second thing is, Gulfstream is a track where horses can run longer than they can anywhere else. So if a horse usually taps out at a mile, probably can get a mile and a 16th. Taps out at a mile and a 16th, probably can get a mile and an eighth. So when we handicap a race, we have to keep that in mind that if a horse maybe looks a little suspect distance wise at Gulfstream, they may be able to carry it. So just a couple of talking points, things to think about. Look at this field. You see it's pretty small. And I seem to have heard something about we may have a scratch in here already. I believe might be McKellen. So keep that in mind. I believe he's cross-entered on Friday at Gulfstream, so we'll see. But the prominent ones are number one, Gate to Wire, who just won the Swale Stakes around one turn. Sovereignty, who's making his 3-year-old debut for Bill Mott, the Street Sense winner. And, of course, Burnham Square, who won the Holy Bull so impressively. And then we've got, as a new shooter, the one that's on a lot of people's minds is the River Thames. Let me say that again. River Thames. Horse is named after a river that goes through London. They pronounce it Thames. And I've heard a lot of people mangle this. That is the way you pronounce it. River Thames. So, sorry to be a stickler, but it drives me nuts when I see things mispronounced. Okay? So anyway, let's take a look. We see that we've got a lot of horses who want to be up around the lead. Neo Equos probably is going to be the speed of the speed, would be my guess. More of a sprinter, pedigree-wise, top and bottom, and I don't expect to be there late. This is a pretty big jump moving into stakes company, and so that's an easy toss. Gate to Wire, to me, looks like a horse that the connections kind of have Derby fever. Won the Swale Stakes. That was very much pace-assisted, very hot on the front end. I thought Macho Music was the best horse that day because he was able to withstand it and still end up second and almost won the race. This horse really didn't show a whole lot at 2 years old. They had him mostly on turf. And by Munnings, it's questionable whether or not 2 turns is exactly what this horse wants. Granted, at Gulfstream, might be able to run a little longer, but just hasn't shown enough to me. And the Swale Stakes is normally a race where 3-year-olds are put in that race who can't get 2 turns. And that's usually what happens more often than not. When I saw a horse in the Swale Stakes, I would say, okay, well, they're not going to try for the Derby. The only exception, I think Street Sense ran in it back in 2007 as his debut. But aside from that, this horse has been primarily sprinting, so I'm not looking to be a major threat here. Burnham Square, I have been very vocal. I love this horse. He has the same pattern as Sierra Leone did last year. He's just getting better with every single race. Speed figures continue to increase. That Holy Bull last time was just a phenomenal effort, circling the field on a speed-favoring track to get up and nail Tappan Street. Really, just the question is, how much more in the tank does Burnham Square have? One thing we do know is that he's going to get the distance and he ain't going to get tired. Ian Wilkes has been big on that. And what I've seen so far, I just love this horse. He takes another step forward. I think he can win this race, and he's my pick. Don't know what the odds are yet. Probably going to be pretty short. But I think he's a very viable candidate in here for certain. Now, the River Thames, I think it's an example of what I was talking about horses who can get longer distances at Gulfstream. He just won a 1-turn mile in his second start and did so pretty impressively, but this horse has double sprint pedigree, and any horse by McLean's music, you can't be that excited about it 2 turns. Now, does he have speed? Does he have class? Absolutely. However, you've got horses in here who are two-turn horses from pedigree and experience. I think River Thames can hang around in this race. I think he can factor in this race, but I'd be very surprised if he won this race. If he does, it's going to be because Sovereignty's not back all the way or Burnham Square regresses slightly. That's just my opinion. I know we get really excited about these impressive maidens, but to me, you can't get past the pedigree aspect of it. He's I don't think he wants the lead. I think he's going to want to stalk. That's what he's been doing, and I just go either way with him. There's just so many, year after year, we have these really excited maidens who flame out as soon as they go around two turns. Todd Pletcher certainly knows what he's doing, and I think this horse has talent. I just don't think he's going to win this race. That's really all I can say about it. Now, Keep It Easy to me is a more intriguing prospect for Dale Romans. This one has two-turn pedigree, and before the bench, I really liked this horse's last race. And I've been liking this horse since Saratoga. I just like the turn of foot. This one has excellent acceleration, and provided can marshal it a little better around two turns, I think this one has a pretty good shot here. Is probably going to be a little more forwardly placed than Burnham Square or Sovereignty, and tactically is going to be in really good position. And I think you're going to get at a pretty good price on Keep It Easy, and I'm using it in my mix for sure. Sovereignty is debuting at 3, and as we all know, this horse really took a while to start training again, and the tab is kind of spotty. The last 3, have been consistent, but you do have that gap there. And also, we have to remember, Bill Mott notoriously does not have his horses cranked up all the way for their first start. Now, this is the Derby Trail. They are kind of rolling the dice a little bit, basically giving him the Fountain of Youth and then probably the Florida Derby as his only shots to get in. But this horse has shown quite a bit of quality. I love the street sense. This horse has great turn of foot. However, Gulfstream tracks a little against him. If he does come from the back and maybe not being tuned up all the way are two impediments to Sovereignty winning this race. Can he get into the money? Yes, absolutely. And he could win this race. And if he does, then we really have to upgrade him, in my opinion, given the reasons I just stated about what his likely condition is coming into this race. But Sovereignty, absolute must use. Price is probably going to be too short for the debut at 3, but one I think you could probably use. McKellen is kind of intriguing. This one has some talent, but looks awful green still. Now, we'll see what he looks like at 3. The tab looks pretty good. This one does have two-turn pedigree. And again, this is one that you're going to get at a price who will get the distance. And if you have some faltering from River Thames, bombs out, or Sovereignty just isn't up to it in his debut, you throw McKellen in there at a price. Don't think he can win this race, but one to think about. Solid Left, I just didn't see enough to get excited about. I didn't really see any relevance, anything that caught my eye that would make me use this horse. So Solid Left is a toss. So we'll take a look at our wagering strategy. We're going to go with Burnham Square to win. I just think he's in great form. He's proven over the track. He's proven over the distance. And he just keeps getting better. And again, that whole thing about he doesn't get tired, I really think is important to remember. And so we're going to go with him to win. Price is probably going to be too short. And if it is, we probably won't go with a win bet. But if I'm going to pick somebody, that would be my one. If you want a value play, I think Keep It Easy is the one I'd be thinking about. We'll do our exactas. We'll do the 3-2 with Sovereignty, 3-8 with Keep It Easy. I think those are the two I'm very, very much interested in. And then one with River Thames, and then one with McKellen, perhaps, if he doesn't scratch. Trifecta, we're going to keep it real simple. 3 on top with 2-4-6-8 with 2-4-6-8. It should be kind of short, but I'm really excited to see Burnham Square run again. This is a horse I'm really, really high on with the Derby in mind. So there's the Fountain of Youth for you. Hope our analysis helps you with your own wagering strategy. Wish you the best of luck as always. And of course, if you do like content like this, please like and subscribe. Thanks to all of you who have come aboard. That's it from here. Be on the lookout. We're going to have a lot of content this week. We've got our Derby Top 10. We've got the Gotham and the San Felipe, which we will both have analysis for. And then we'll probably have a sequence for Gulfstream and their Saturday card. And we've got a replay analysis of the Rebel Stakes. So go on back and take a look at that, where we graded out all the performers. And boy, what an effort by Cold Battle. Really pretty special, made a believer out of me. So that's it from here. I'll talk to you soon. And until then, be well.